Now that we have completed both our sleeves and we have seamed the body, and I have also woven in my ends, I'm going to now start working on this neckline. If you've tried this on, which I highly encourage that by now you'd tried on your garment at least once, you will realize that we have a very wide neck opening. So we want to reduce it, and I really want to do a rolled neckline. So I'm going to start by doing a front post, back post rib. Now I'm going to start in the back. And I'm going to be working on the right side of the garment. So this here is a stitch and this is a stitch, okay? This is where this stitch is coming out of. So I'm going to insert my hook there. I'm going to secure my slip knot essentially, and I'm going to chain 2. I'm just going to work 1 double crochet into each of these stitches. So it is easy to pick up the stitches here because we have rows of single crochets, right? So we can just nicely pick up our stitches. And I will meet you back here in this stitch. So as I've said, we're going to come upon this stitch right here, and this technically belongs to the row below as a stitch. If we look at our work, here is where we joined our shoulder seams together, and this has 10 rows total of stitches. And I'm going to decrease stitches just to make sure that I've got a little bit of a tighter neck. So I'm gonna start by decreasing the stitch between here and this row. So I've decreased 1 stitch right at the corner. And I'm gonna do 1 double crochet here, double crochet in the next. And if we look at our work, this is a row and this is a row. But this that lies between, like this valley here, is actually what the seam from our slip stitches. So I'm just going to go ahead and do an invisible decrease using the loops from this row and the loops from the other row. It can be a little bit tight, but you'll manage. Now, if we do an invisible decrease, we're going to get a huge gap right here and a huge gap on the other side. So this is why for this initial stage, I just do a normal decrease. I feel it is safer because even though there's gaps, the bulk of it is mainly covered. So in the next row, just here, I'm going to do a double crochet. In the next row, I'm going to do a double crochet. And if we look at our stitches, we are now coming upon the join again to the front side where we're also going to decrease. So I'm going to do 1 more stitch there. Okay. And I'm going to decrease here and decrease here. All right. Now we're coming to the front again. So we're just going to do 1 double crochet in each of these single crochets, and then I'm going to repeat what I just did here. So the exact number of stitches I have on this side, I'm going to repeat them on the other side of the shoulders. And then I will meet you back here when it's time to join in. And now I've come upon the last 2 stitches before my chain 2 space. So in these last 2 spaces, okay, I'm going to create my last decrease. So, there we go. Now the reason why I did that is our neckline was really square before, but these decreases just made it a tiny bit more round. So that's why I decreased in these 4 points. So now I am going to join my work in the top of the chain 2 space with a slip stitch. And I'm going to chain 2 again. This time I'm going to do a front post double crochet, and in the next stitch I'm going to do a back post double crochet. And in the next one I'm going to do a front post double crochet, and in the next I'm going to do a back post double crochet. And I'm going to continue in this manner all the way around, remembering that this decrease counts as 1 stitch, so I will just do 1 front post or 1 back post, whichever one it is, when I reach here. And I will meet you all the way back at the beginning. So I've completed my round, and my last stitch was a back post double crochet. I slip stitched onto the top of the chain 2, and I chained 1. And for this chain, I am going to go back in and do a single crochet. But for the next stitch and every other stitch across, I am going to be doing a single crochet in the front loop only. So continuing along, as I said, working into the front loops only, and this is because I want to achieve a rolled neckline look, and just working into that front loop only will kind of turn my work down, which is the effect that I am going for. So I'm going to complete this all the way around and then join to that first single crochet of the row. And there we go, we've completed our wide rolled neckline. You can see the difference in the stitches and how it rolls a little bit to the front. So now I am simply going to go and cut my thread, leaving a long tail to weave in the ends. And since I know myself and I know that I never weave in ends, I already weaved all the ends in this sweater in except for this one. So I hope you found this helpful, and don't forget to tag pictures of your completed crochet chunky sweater.